Animals are pretty amazing. Their antics, beauty, and ferociousness all make us marvel at the wonder of nature. But then there are a few animals who are simply so different that they make us think about if God was playing a practical joke. Let's take a look at some of the weirdest animals. Number 22, axolotl. Considering that they look like something out of a comic book designed by a stoned artist, there are also other weird things that the axolotl is known for. Its common name, the Mexican walking fish, might give you a clue. They're actually small salamanders near Mexico City, but considering that it's an endangered species, you might not spot many of them. The axolotl can even regrow its limbs, has lidless eyes, and comes in white and black in color. Number 21, yeti crab. Crabs are generally associated with their red claws, but the Kiwa hirsute, or the yeti crab, was discovered in 2005, and they actually have fur on their legs and claws. And although it might not be related to their fur, they are almost blind. And the hair is not all for show either. It contains filamentous bacteria, which helps it remove the poisonous minerals from the waters where it lives. Number 20, anglerfish. These fish are ugly to say the least, but they're also very smart. They have a small protrusion in their head which they wiggle around to attract other fish, and then the hunter becomes the prey as the anglerfish proceed to kill those fish. Also, they're kind of bisexual in nature. When observed, it seemed as if the anglerfish had parasites attached to them, but further inspection revealed that the parasites were in fact remains of male ceratoids. Number 19, pangolin. Anteaters and armadillos are both fascinating creatures. Imagine if they ever had a baby together. That would look like the pangolin. It is an oddly shaped mammal with a protective keratin shell and is the only mammal known to have one, which is what unfortunately makes it a very rare and unique catch for traffickers, and sadly, the pangolin today is a threatened species. Number 18, frill neck lizard. When you think of dinosaurs, lizards are actually the one animal which comes pretty close to them. And it seems evolution obviously forgot a few things when it was working on the frill neck lizard. Also known as the frilled dragon, this lizard has a large amount of extra skin around its head, which is supported by long spines of cartilage. And when the lizard is threatened, this skin flares out and makes the lizard look pretty dangerous. And not just that, when it is running at full speed, it runs on 2 legs, which makes it look even more alarming. Number 17, Dumbo octopus. Perhaps these octopuses inspired the Disney flying elephant, as they have ear-like fins protruding from their heads. It kinda makes them look cute, but they're not easy to spot. They are extremely rare and found mostly at extreme depths in open ocean, unlike other octopuses. Their skin is transparent, but they can make it flush at will, and that adds to their intrigue factor. Number 16, Angora rabbit. Looking at these rabbits, you would really wonder if there's extra fur lying around which they decided to put on. The Angora rabbits have very long and soft hair, and were very popular pets among the French royalty in the mid-1700s. And as they have very good hair, they are also reared in some places to make wool. Number 15, Tasmanian tiger. Is it a dog? Is it a tiger? Take your guess. Or, well, you might not be able to, as the Tasmanian tiger became extinct in the 20th century. These animals belong to the Australian continent, although they had been extinct from everywhere except the Tasmanian island, even before the Europeans came to Australia. Since then, the gradually decreasing habitat and hunts made them extinct. Number 14, platypus. Of all the creatures in the world, perhaps no one will be able to match the weirdness of the platypus. It is technically a mammal, but lays eggs and stays mostly in the water. Not to mention that they have a bill of a duck on their face, which is the reason why scientists think that the platypus is an important link in evolution, and why it's appeared as a mascot for Australia on many occasions. Number 13, narwhal. When you think of whales, you generally do not associate them with tusks. That is until you meet the narwhal, which is a type of white whale. They are instantly recognizable because of their long and heavy tusks, which can be up to 10 feet long and 22 pounds. Since its natural habitat is in the Arctic Sea, scientists believe that the purpose of the tusk was to break the ice, but it turns out it's not the only purpose. The males with the longer tusks get to mate more often. Number 12, leafy sea dragon. If you see a drifting piece of seaweed, you might want to think twice about picking it up, because you could end up with a leafy sea dragon on your hand. It has green, orange, and golden hues on its body, and is covered with leaf-like appendages which actually serve as good camouflage. They have no teeth or stomach and feed exclusively on Misodopsis shrimp. And the good news is that the Australian government has actually given them a protected status since 1982. Number 11. Glowing sea turtles. Shiny and glowing things are always amazing to look at. And while there are some animals which are known to produce a glow from time to time, a recent discovery revealed a fascinating new turtle. It was the first glowing reptile ever found, and biologists think that the bioluminescence is a way for them to communicate with each other. Number 10. Glass frog. Many of us might have spent time dissecting a frog to see what its inside looks like, which might be what prompted the Diane's bare-hearted glass frog to evolve. These frogs are a recent discovery, and the most startling fact about them is that their underside is translucent, so you can pretty much see all its organs with the naked eye, although you will have to have 20/20 vision because these guys are just about an inch long. Number 9. Sunfish. When you go fishing, you probably hope to get a nice big catch, but you might have just a little more on your hands than that if you happen to catch a sunfish. They are the heaviest bony fish in the world and can weigh around 2 tons. Try reeling that in. The fish is mostly found in temperate and tropical waters around the world, and true to their love for fish, the Japanese, Koreans, and Taiwanese consider the sunfish a delicacy. Number 8. Saiga antelope. Found mainly in Russia, Kazakhstan, and Uzbekistan, you might be forgiven for thinking that this antelope has a major disease. The saiga antelopes have a large and flexible nose, which kind of looks like a snail is sitting on their face, but this giant nose helps them filter out dust and regulate temperatures as well. Unfortunately, over 120,000 saiga antelopes were found dead recently because of an epizootic illness. Number 7. Gharial. Looking at this creature, it might look like someone was trying to make a crocodile and forgot what it was supposed to look like when it came to the head. The gharial is a large reptile that has a long and thin snout, but don't think that makes it any less dangerous. There are 110 teeth in that snout, and it's estimated that only 235 of these creatures are alive today, and all of them in the Indian waterways. Number 6. Red-lipped batfish. If you've ever wanted to see what an angry fish looks like, just do a search of the red-lipped batfish. They're found mostly in the Galapagos Islands, and they look like a child painted a lip on them. No wonder they look so angry. And that's not the only thing weird about it. They also have a horn, and are usually found walking on the ocean floor rather than swimming. Guess if you got it, you should flaunt it. Number 5. The bush viper. If you happen to find yourself face to face with the bush viper, you would be easily forgiven for thinking that you're having some sort of weird alien dream. These snakes are found in the trees of Western and Central Africa's rainforests, and they can actually change the color of their scales to match the surroundings and become very hard to spot. Thankfully, they live very far away from human settlements usually, which is actually a very good thing because their poison is very dangerous and fatal to humans, with no known antidote. Number 4. Aye. Gross and disgusting will be the first words that will come into anyone's mind as they look at the aye. These animals are found mainly in Madagascar, and they are primates, which means that they are closely related to us. The tail of the aye is longer than its body, and they have large eyes and ears, and are found in tops of trees, and never really want to come down from them. They are also pretty sensitive to sound, and use echolocation, along with tapping trees with their fingers, to figure out where insects are by sound. Number 3. Streaked tenrec. So what would you get if a porcupine ran into a crazy hair designer? The streaked tenrec. These little creatures are found in Madagascar and are actually mammals covered in spines, except that the spines are yellow, which kind of makes them very intriguing. Oh, and they also make insect-like chirping sounds for some reason. Number 2. Okapi. So if you were making a zebra and kinda got tired midway through the stripes, you would get an okapi. Although they look like a cross between a zebra and a horse, the okapi are actually related to giraffes and are found in the Congo region. In fact, so weird is the okapi that it was thought to be a myth until it was discovered by scientists in 1900. Okapis are known to prefer solitude, and they communicate by making sounds we can't hear, which is a good thing considering that they're on the verge of extinction. And number 1, aardvark. Put in parts of different animals like the kangaroo's tail, a pig's face, and a rabbit's ears and you get an aardvark. Found mainly in the sub-Saharan Africa, the aardvark are nomadic, following ants and termites, making holes for homes along the way, which get turned into nests for porcupines and warthogs once they abandon it. Have you ever seen any of these weird animals? Do let us know how it feels to see them up close in the comment section below. And remember to subscribe to our channel for instant updates on our videos.